Hey everybody, welcome to Homemade from Scratch. Now I've been showing you a bunch of recipe videos, so now we're going to get into the homemade part of this channel. The first thing I want to show you is how to make your own cleaner. Now on my other channel, Boots and Bounty Homestead, I show you how to make orange and lemon peel cleaners, but today we are going to make a mock Pinesol cleaner. Now just a few moments ago, I went out to our back property and it has about 3 acres of pine trees. And what I did was collected the pine needles from those pine trees. And I left a bunch of the dead ones, so all I got is the green ones. Now what this does is, this is what's going to be our smell for our cleaner, but it also, the smell comes from the oils that are in the needles. So let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. So if you'll take your pine needles and just do a little twist and bend, shaky, 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 you will start to see them kind of sparkle. And those are the oils that is coming out of the pine needles. So we're going to use that to our advantage. This is so simple, but it takes just a little bit of time. We're going to take a quart jar. You can do this in any size jar if you want. You can do a gallon, you can do a pint, you can do whatever size you want. But we are going to take just a regular quart jar. This is regular mouth, doesn't matter what size mouth. We're going to take our pine needles. Now what I'm going to do to activate this a little bit more is I'm actually going to cut these ends off. I'm just going to use scissors and cut the ends off. You can leave them whole or you can chop them up. Now the rule of thumb when making like medicinal or herbal stuff is to get more surface area. So the finer you chop this, the more availability the actual plant becomes, because there's more open surfaces, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and chop this up in about 1-inch pieces and just place it in the jar. So now that we have our jar, and it's about a quarter full, which is about the rule of thumb you want to do for your herbal medicines and your herbal cleaners, we're just going to take vinegar and fill it up to about here, and we're going to shake it up and let it sit. Now you want to let your cleaner sit about 2 to 4 weeks. You'll start see the color changes going on. You can open it up and lightly sniff of it because this is straight vinegar. And then this will make a concentrate. Some people like to dilute it with water. Some people like to use it straight. So whichever you prefer. But I'll show you what it looks like in about 2 to 4 weeks. One other way that you can make this is actually take the pine needles and lightly, not really boil them, but bring them to a low simmer just before a boil, and just let them simmer in water for about 30 minutes. This is going to extract the water soluble properties out of the pine needles, and then you can take the water and the pine needles and pour it about half and half of water vinegar. You can pour, you know, if you want to do about a cup of water, you can do about a cup or 2 of water, and with the pine needles simmering, and then you're going to do a 1-to-1 ratio with the water vinegar. So you'll do 1 to 2 cups of vinegar, however much water you use, and then the the vinegar will pull out the vinegar soluble properties and extract more of those oils, because water and oil doesn't mix. So the vinegar will pull out the oils and the water will pull out the water soluble properties out of the pine needles. So that doesn't make a straight concentrate like this does, because we will eventually mix this with a little bit of water to use it so we can tone down the acidity a little bit so it doesn't damage anything. But that's another way that you can also do this if you want to do a 1-to-1 water vinegar ratio mock Pinesol cleaner.